My father is Professor Uche-Okeke, the late modernist artist and scholar. I think it's a bit difficult to separate my father as a father and my father from the artist, because I knew both of them together. But I suppose I knew him more as a father more than as an artist. Certainly, I greatly admired him as an artist. As a father, I remember him as this soft-spoken man. He was very gentle, but also very passionate about the things that he loved and the things that he fought for. And for him, the creative sectors was something that he really, really loved, in particular the visual arts. But he had so many interests. His interests were very broad. And he was a man that was extremely intelligent. His brain was like a sponge. He was always seeking for knowledge, seeking for information, always interested in many different things. And I remember him as being someone that was always fair, very fair-minded, and very inclusive and very community sort of focused. And he believed that education was a very, very important foundation for anything that could be sustained and could grow over time. He was always very much interested in us thinking for ourselves and in us being broad about the way that we looked at other people in other cultures, the way other people thought, and not just standing on our own views, but also being open to listening to other people's views. And even if you don't agree with them, at least you listen. The one thing that was very distinct about my father is that he was very obsessed with documentation. And that is one thing that he did from when he started his art practice throughout his career to the very end, So he was always documenting everything in great detail. He kept diaries, he wrote his thoughts down. So one of the most important publications that he wrote, was Art in Development, a Nigerian Perspective. And that, every time I read it, I hear his voice, I can just feel him near me, and I can imagine his expressions when he's saying those things. He was a very deep thinker, and he was also sort of philosophical, but he was a very wise person. The Zaria Art Society, I know that they keep on talking about it from the angle of the revolution, that they were rebelling. But I remember my father in an interview with Chika Okeke saying that they were not rebels. So the Zaria Art Society is not just about rebelling. It's about building a sustainable art sector. It's about using what we know as Africans, and translating it into a contemporary art language. It's about our history, it's about our culture, it's about our traditions, and about how these traditions evolve when spoken with a visual language. And that was what was important to the 10 core members of the Zaria Art Society. My father was a man that has so much depth that it's difficult to unpack all of it in one lifetime. I think it's something that as time goes on, we're going to keep on seeing more dimensions and more facets of the man that was Uche-Okeke.